Parenting Essentials, and it is the first day of February, and I am so excited to be here today. Happy New Month! OACL tells somebody to tell somebody that it's parenting essential time, and today I'm talking about something very important. So it's going to worth your time. I want you to call somebody and let that somebody call somebody and tell them that it is parenting essentials. And today I'm going to be talking about culture and perspectives. All right, let's get started. Thank you for joining me, everyone. And if you're seeing my face for the very first time today, my name is Oye Esther. And thank you for joining me. All right. Are you there? Am I audible? Can you hear me? Can we talk about culture? Are you ready? Have you invited somebody? So if you don't mind, you can help us share, tell somebody. Come on, let's listen to what Oye has to say today. Okay. I am very excited. Don't forget that parenting essential is the key and the home of key strategies to parenting. Is the home of key strategies to parenting. And this year we are going to be digging deep into family life in general so that we can function properly in our parenting. I said something last week. I said, I've come to realize that many errors that we are struggling with in our parenting is because we did not fix those things that needed to be fixed in our family life. And that is why we are going to be going broad, wide this year, 2025. Okay, what am I talking about today? I'm talking about culture and perspective. So we're going to be understanding the recreation of our own path, my path, Oye's path, Oye's culture. And I'm going to be quickly explaining what culture is and how it can be something that can affect our lives. Okay, I just want to be sure I am audible and you can see me, and I want to believe so. Many times we talk based on our own convention, how we see things, how convincing we are about a situation. And that is how we talk, and that is how we see life. And that is totally okay. But we need to start to understand what culture is and how this can affect our lives, how it can affect our lives. But my question is, with our convention, how sure are you with your convention? We talk based on our convention, but how sure are we when we are talking about our convention? How sure are we about our convention? So I want you to be reminded that we've been handled by people over the time, and this set of people have stuffed a lot of things in our brain. And I call these things that they've stuffed in our brain, I call it made believe. We have all kinds of ideas, we have beliefs that has been passed on to us, maybe by our parents, by our caregivers, aunties and uncles, and we owe them dearly. But how sure are we about these things? How convinced are we about these things that has been stuffed into our brain? And these are the things I'm going to be talking about tonight. Okay, if you're just joining me, I want to say thank you for joining me. It is Parenting Essential Time. And I am Oye, Layo Esther, Oye for short, if you're just seeing my face for the very first time. And I'm talking about culture and perspective tonight. So let's even say that whosoever handled us, or those who nurtured us, they've worked so hard with us and they have tried so much, or they did what they should do or what they could do. Have we ever taken time to actually check those things thoroughly? Did we check them? Are those things still going to be relevant to our generation? Are they still going to be workable in this our generation? Is it still useful in this our time, our age? And these are questions that we should start to ask ourselves if indeed we want to get results when it comes to culture. So to start with, I'm just going to ask you a very serious question. And these are very, very serious questions. And I really want you to answer it to yourself. Serious questions that need serious answer. You need to be serious and conscious when you are answering yourself these questions. Whose idea are you? I want you to just think about it. Maybe it's something that you have not even thought about before. Whose idea am I? Oh, yeah. Whose idea are you? Whose idea are you? Can you just think about this question and be genuine? And do you think you can even answer this question? Whose idea are you? Don't be in a hurry to answer this question. I want you to just take a moment and think about it. Some cultures and beliefs that, some cultures beliefs or whatever it is, system believe that, and it's so common in Africa, I must say, that maybe something like men don't cook, men don't do this. The duty of a man is just to provide for his family, and the woman's duty is just to stay at home and nurse a child. But my question is, who creates culture? Who creates culture? Or we just get this is my culture, that is my culture, this is what we do, where I came from, this is our tribe. Have you ever asked yourself, where is this coming from? Who create cultures? Whose idea is that? Whose belief am I carrying on? So if we are not careful, truly, if we are not careful in this, especially in this our generation, we will take a lot of wrong ideas and think they are right. We are going to adopt a lot of wrong ideas to be a right idea. So we need to really be careful to check, because our idea is going to produce our thought. Your idea produce your thought, and your thought is going to produce concept, and your concept is what is going to produce vision. Your idea is going to produce your thought is going to produce concept, and your concept is going to produce vision. So you can only understand life to the extent that to how correct your concept is. That is how far life can be meaningful to you. That is how far you can understand life too. How correct is your concept about life itself? So whatever you see about life or your perspective about life is a determinant of your concept about it. How real is it? How genuine is your ideology? We have so many ideas. We have so many ideologies that we hold with high esteem. But my question now is, how real, how genuine are these things? The ones you are holding on to. This is my culture. This is how my daddy taught me. Last week I spoke about beliefs, and I said I was going to speak about culture today because it has a lot to do together. So how genuine, how real, how good is these things that we are holding on to that we call our own ideology? So let me ask you again, whose idea are you? How valid are the things that we hold in high esteem? How valid are the things that we are holding on to? How true is a culture that we carry so much with so much power and tenacity? How true is it? How valuable is it? How productive is it to our lives? We need to get to the point of really asking those questions, especially when we are going through some state of confusion or challenges in life. And if you can trace it or, is relatable to your culture, this is a time for you to ask yourself questions. If you really want to get solution, you want to come out of these things. I'm not saying we are going to attack culture. No one should attack culture. Culture is a good thing. I am not here today to attack culture, and I am not asking you to attack your culture. But you need to be able to ask yourself some questions that is going to give you clarity, questions that is going to give you solution, is going to give you light to the part of darkness that you might be experiencing. So you are going to ask yourself these questions, and this is going to give clarity in order for you to be able to recreate, if there is need, a fresh path. You might need to recreate a fresh path. Those things that you are calling your culture, I am not saying you should scrap them. I'm not saying that you should punch them or you kick them off, but you might need to ask questions that is going to give clarity to you in order for you to be sure that do I need to create or recreate a path. And that is what I'm going to be talking about today. So if you're there and as I'm teaching, you have questions, Just drop your questions, your concerns, your worries, and I'll see how far we can go today. And no rush at all. If we can't finish this today, we're going to continue next week. So what is culture? I've been talking about culture. Maybe you need to recreate your part. What is culture? Culture is a collection of tradition coming together, so many ideas, collection of traditions, collection of beliefs, customs, values that shapes the way of a group of people that lives, how they interact. That is culture. Their beliefs, their customs, their value that they hold in high esteem, the set of people, group of people. That is culture, in case you are not aware. And I want you to know that culture in itself is not rigid. It's not a stone. We can't move it. It's a rock. Culture is not Olumorok. Culture is not whatever mountain that you have been to. Culture is not rigid. It is not a fixed system, rather. Culture is not a fixed system, but it's a set of practices that has been passed down from generation to generation, passed down from past experiences. That is culture. Your great-grandfather did something and it became a culture, and he passed it on to your great-grandfather. That guy passed it on to your grandfather passed it on to your father, and now you have it. That is culture. So I want you to know that it's nothing that is is definitive. No, not at all. That is culture, and we have to understand that. It's been passed on to us from generation past due to their experiences. So over time, people create culture based on what they believe, what works best for them, what works best for their society. So whatever culture you say in our village, this is what you do, that was what some people created sometimes back because of what worked then. So if I ask you, the culture you are holding in high esteem now, is it still working for you? Fine, if it's working for you. Because that thing that you call culture, it is what was created by some people in the past, and it actually worked for them. So what am I saying in a nutshell? That culture should work for you. Culture should work for you. Culture is not absolute. It is not absolute. It evolves as people gain new knowledge. It's something that should grow with time. As we are growing in knowledge, as we are going in understanding, culture should evolve as we gain knowledge and perspectives, as we gain experiences. Culture should not just stand. This is how we do it. This is how my grandpa did it. It should grow with our knowledge and understanding, our experiences, And over time, many people have mistakenly believed that culture is unchangeable, untouchable, immovable, irreplaceable. Because how can I now change what my great-great-grandfather did and they laid the foundation? How can me now in 2025, I will now tell my community or village people, say, I cannot do it. I just have to do it. Because that is our culture. I believe I'm making sense to somebody today. I really believe I'm making sense to somebody today. But I believe for you to get a lot of great things out of my teaching today, you have to really be open-minded. You have to really be ready to unlearn and relearn. I always say something. Sometimes we need to format our brain. We need to boost it. We need to rebuild it. We need to be ready. We need to shake it, so that we can shake off the things that are not really necessary or are not practicable for us, or things that are not actually working for us. And it's very, very important for us to do that. People I've seen people many times that, we cannot change culture. Culture should just be like that because we did not make it. But somebody made it, in case you're not aware. But the truth is, culture is man-made. Someone made it. This means that, individuals have to have the power to recreate your own culture. I need to have the power. I need to have the strength, the audacity to create my own culture. What is Oye's culture? What culture have I made for me and my family? What culture have we made as Vision Guide? What culture have we made as Nkoye? And I'm asking you today, if you are a single person or you're married in your home, what culture have you been able to create? When we don't get to the point of asking ourselves, sometimes we might not realize that these things are very important or they even exist. We just go ahead with life and we don't know why we struggle in some aspect of our lives. So what culture have you created? Or what culture? It is man-made. So how can you create your culture? Or we say, okay, I want to create culture. You said I should create culture. How? This is culture that my great-great-grandfather has made. It means as an individual, you have to have the power to recreate your own culture based on your own vision. So before you can be talking about recreating culture or creating your own path, I want to ask you a question. Do you have a vision? Do you even have a vision? Not the one you imagine in your head, not the one that you assume that you know, but the one that is down in a written document. Vision. Let's say maybe family vision statement. The one that every member of the family is aware. That is the first thing to do before you can start saying you want to recreate culture. So if you are here and you don't even have vision, you have no idea of what you stand for, what your vision is, it is not the time to recreate culture. So that's the first thing to do. So you have to know your values. You have to know your vision. You have to know what you stand for. And you can now start to talk about recreating cultures. Your goals, your values are the one that is going to help you. They are going to be the guiding force, the guiding principle when you want to recreate culture. All right, is anybody there? Are we together? Today I'm talking about culture and perspectives. And I'm glad you are joining me today. It's a very amazing topic that I really love so much because this is one of the reasons why many people are struggling in this generation, because we think that culture is rigid. We are not aware that culture is man-made. We think it's unchangeable. And that is why I am here to tell you today that culture is not rigid and it is man-made. It is nothing defined, it's not about definity. Some people over the time came about that, and you can retrace and you can recreate your part. After knowing your vision, your values, and your goals, then you can dabble into creating your own culture. All right, if you're there, you're joining me, I want to say thank you for joining me today. So what are the key principles to remember in this journey today is that people do not see things the way they actually are. Can I say that again? People, or you or me, might not necessarily see things the way they actually are, except I have trained myself over the time. So if you have not trained yourself over the time, let's talk about people in general. They do not see things. You have to remember that people do not see things the way the things actually are. They see things based on their own experience. We read our own meaning to people's life. We read our own meaning, our own experience, the way we think it should be. That's why you see a lot of people struggling with other people. Why are they like that? Why is that family doing that? We see people not the way they are. We see situation not the way that situation is. We see things not the way that thing is, but the way we are, the way our perspective is. And these are the things that is making the world at large a difficult place to be. Why would Oye wear black today, of all day, to come and do life? And that bothers you so much. Why will she choose black and come on live broadcast? Is she not aware that black is bad? Because your grandpa and grandmother told you that black is bad, black is evil. In my place, black is terrible. This is what I'm talking about. So we don't see situations and things the way they actually are, but the way we see it. So are we now ready? Are you ready to now begin to see things the way they really are? Are you ready to retrace your path or to recreate the path that you want to tread in this year 2025? Let me know if I'm going too fast or I'm going too slow or I'm just right. And you can also drop your comment, your questions, and your concern. And I will try as much as possible to attend to it. If not today, but I will definitely attend to them depending on the time that we have with us. Okay. So these are the things that we need to take to heart. It is very, very important, That is why you see people They can look at the same situation and everybody is saying something different entirely. You can look at number 6 and number 9. It's a very simple number to use as an example. And somebody is seeing 6, but that same number, another person is seeing 9. So depending on the angle that you are looking at it from. But when you now stand, you're so adamant, it is 9. That lady is not serious. That man is not serious. You might need to recheck and rebuild, unlearn and relearn. It is very important. We need to grow. It's a new year. We need to start seeing things the way they are, not the way we think they should be, the way they really are. So you have to, how your perspective about things is, you have to start checking it. You have to start checking it. Is everything based on your own experience? Do you know what that person has been through? Do you know where I'm coming from? Do you even know where I'm going to? So what I'm doing, why is it bothering you? Because this is what you've been told. I'm not coming for you, but I really want everybody to be ready to, be open-minded. Until you are open-minded, this might be a difficult thing for you to swallow. Until you are ready that, I want to unlearn and relearn. I want to really change the way I see things. Until you are very intentional about this step, you might not be able to achieve it. No way. So the first thing is, am I actually ready to see things the way they actually are? Or I just want to hold on. Who are these people? Now in 2025, they want me to change what my grandfather told me. And that thing is not working for you and you're struggling with your life. Hello? Hello? So these are the things we are talking about. So you have to know, you have to be ready. How you perceive things can determine whether you experience harmony or disharmony. You sometimes you lose your peace on what is not your business. We understand it's a social media age. Must you go there to fight for people or to prove your point? So how you perceive things is going to determine if you are going to experience harmony or disharmony, even in your marriage, in your business, in your personal life, personal growth. You're just adamant. I cannot see and take my eyes off. I'm not saying you should see evil and not do what you can do at your disposal, but you need to prioritize what is important to you. And that is what is going to determine if you're going to experience harmony, disharmony. And this is going to be applicable to your parenting journey, your marital life, your business, your family life, your personal growth, career development. It's going to be determined by that. So that is why you have to really, really be careful and know that you are on this journey and be ready to recreate your path. So let me talk about the relationship between culture, beliefs, and perspectives. And I think I'm going to stop there because I actually have examples to share. I have some scenario that is going to make us to understand, but I think I'll go into that next week because of time. So let me quickly start with this, and I might stop. The next week I will kick off with the scenario, the practical one that is going to bring it home to us for us to get more clarity about culture and how it can hinder our lives if we are not careful. Okay, so let's talk about relationships or relationship. It should be chips anyways. It should be more than one. All right, let's talk about relationships between culture, beliefs, and perspectives. Oye is here. It's quite funny, right? Thank you for joining me once again. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. You can call me Oye for short, but my name is Oyelayo. And I am your family life practitioner and your parenting coach. And today I'm talking about culture and perspectives. So if you have been here, I'm sure you're enjoying yourself and you're getting one or two things. And if you're just joining me after the live broadcast, just take it back and watch it again. It's going to worth your time. It's going to worth your time. So what are the relationships between culture, belief, and perspectives? What are they are deeply interconnected. Sure, culture, beliefs, and perspectives, they are deeply interconnected because culture is going to shape the way we think and act. The way we sit, we think about this. How is this like this? How is that like this? How we behave. That is culture. Culture shapes the way we think and act. But beliefs are the convictions we hold on based on what has been taught or what we have experienced. Beliefs It's conviction that we hold on to dearly based on what we have been taught or our past experiences. Why perspective is the way we interact or interpret situations. Perspective is the way we interpret situations and make decisions. This is how it is. Oh, this situation is like this. When I listen to that girl, I think she's not saying the truth. The way we perceive, the way we interpret situation and make decision, that is perspectives. So your perspective is influenced by your culture and your belief. We cannot just look at a situation and just, this is how I decide to do it. That influence of your decision is coming from a place of your culture and what you believe. So your perspective cannot stand alone. How you perceive life, how you see situation, it is based on your culture and your belief. If you are getting it, let me know you're getting it. If you're there, let me know you're getting it. And I'm trying to take it easy so that everyone will be able to understand the relationships between culture, belief, and perspective. All right. And that is how it is. So perspective is influenced by your culture and your belief. And if your cultural beliefs are limiting, so picture it. If your cultural beliefs are limiting, they can become hindrance to your growth. So I'm going to be talking about this next week. How these cultural beliefs can be an hindrance to our growth. And I'm going to be sharing practical examples. So, but as we go, I want you to know that if your cultural beliefs are limiting, it is definitely going to be an hindrance to your growth. And this can be an hindrance to your business because the business is not going to grow. And I'm going to share an example on that. Your marriage might be having issues because of cultural beliefs. It might you have a lot of issues in your marriage. It can be a whole lot of things. So because of time, I don't want to go into practical examples because we are supposed to use 30 minutes for Parenting Essential and we have few minutes left. So next week, I'm going to be sharing practical examples. I will share 2 or 3 practical examples next week. But so far, so good. Let me know if you have questions for today. Let me know. So next week, you're going to finish culture and perspectives next week. So, but before I go, I'm going to use the remaining 3 minutes to answer questions if there is any. I'm trying to check. Just give me a moment. Let me check Facebook first. Okay. Okay. Kochura Allah is on Facebook. Thank you for joining me. All right. Okay. Thank you. Yes, you're right. Love the perspective of starting with vision before trying to build your own culture. Thank you, Coach Wura Ola Young. Thank you for joining me. All right. Do we have any question? Comfort, thank you for joining me today. Happy weekend. Some cultural beliefs should be avoided. Some carry bad omen. Absolutely. And I'll be going in depth in that next week. I have some lovely practical example that is going to make us to get the clarity. Sometimes when we use examples that are practicable, it is, it gives more clarity to what exactly we are talking about. How can I know if my beliefs are not useful? Thank you for asking. I wish I can bring you on the live session now for you to come and answer yourself because I know that you're just throwing that question at me. How can I know if my beliefs are not useful? All right, whatever you have believed, is it bringing results? I'm not going to say too much. How do you know that your beliefs are not useful? So you believe this is it. I believe that. Okay, let me talk about one belief that I have. I believe that Jesus is Lord. But is it giving me a result? Yes. So you believe that you can do business and make profit. But are you doing the business and making profit? If no, then that belief is not working. So you have to check your belief based on your results. If your belief is not giving desired results, please check again. Whatever you believe over the time and you persist and you put every effort to follow your principles, your values and your goals should bring results. So the easiest way to know over the time that your beliefs are not working, or am I right with that question? Are not useful, is when they are not producing the desired result over time. All right, what else is there? How can I know if my beliefs, okay, some cultures, okay, I think that's all. Okay, I want to say thank you everybody for joining me today. If you have dropped a comment, I'm sure I'm going to see you. But if you have not dropped a comment, it's going to be very tough to see you. So I'm on Facebook right now, Omotola Olawore. Thank you so much for joining me today. Shidera Esther, thank you for joining me today. If you say I or hello, it's easier for me to just say I to you. Comfort Abdul Abol, something like that. I don't want to murder your name. I apologize. Thank you for joining me today. And let me check quickly. Is it possible for you to help me check? Anyways, on Instagram, I want to say thank you. I'll check Instagram, but YouTube, anybody there? Thank you so much for joining me. Let me quickly check Instagram because I seem not to always say hello to Instagram. Okay, Ja, you are there. I see you there. Thank you for joining me. I cannot see other people, but I can see few people there, but they didn't drop any comment. Everyone on Instagram, I want to say thank you for joining me today. Today, I've been talking about culture and perspectives. And this is going to be rounding up next week, Saturday, by the grace of God. So don't miss out. Don't miss it for anything because I'm going to be sharing hands-on practical examples of on how culture can actually mar our lives, or maybe I'm going to focus on that. Because we know that there are cultures that can be a blessing, but I'm going to focus on how culture can be an hindrance to our lives next week using practical example. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. YouTube, anybody there? Thank you so much, everyone. So as we go, don't forget that Parenting Essential is back, and this is the second live broadcast this year. We are back, and I'm sure you've seen the good news. It's a new month and it's starting with amazing news. Book release is coming. Selfish Parent is coming. Tell somebody that Oye is going to be releasing a book this month, and it's titled Selfish Parent. Trust me, you can't wait to read this book. It's full of insight, very impactful. If you're an intentional parent, or you're a parent already, this book is a must read for you, and it's going to be available soon, and we're going to be sharing the platform that you can purchase your own. And that is not all. It's a double release. Our princess is also releasing our book. This is a long awaited book for both of us, and this time around, this month, the two is coming. It's called Triangle. It's a boo-boo, and this is basically for toddlers. She illustrated this book by herself. She wrote this book by herself. Both illustration and the story is written by Peculiar Sarah Olawuyi, and this is going to be a very lovely book for your toddler. It's going to teach them about shapes, colors, safety, and I can't wait for you to read this with your toddlers, and you're going to be grateful you did. All right, just anticipate and look forward to this amazing book. It's going to be very, very awesome. Parenting Essential is back, and Selfish Parent is coming. Triangle, it's a boo-boo, it's coming. Mark your calendar, save some money so that you can buy for somebody and buy for another person, because it's going to it is going to be a good gift to give out to your families and friends. Parenting must be intentional as we go. Don't forget, parenting must be purposeful. Parenting must be full of vision, because this vision is what is guiding us jealously on this part of visionary parenting, because we say only the vision guides. Stay blessed and bye for now. Love you. See you next week by the grace of God.